Hi everybody, Skip the End here with another games I've been playing recently video, and you probably noticed the new layout that I've done for it's the same table that it was before, only I've put a new sort of sheet over it just to give my sort of pickups videos and whatever my own sort of like style. And also because the table was a little bit dirty, and like when the lights are on as they are today, or tonight I should say, there's a little bit of glare on the videos, which kind of really irritates me when I watch it back. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a try, and then yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, let's get started. The first game I've been playing is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And I've never actually played the Professor Layton game before. I have played the first three Phoenix Wright games. I absolutely love them all. But yeah, it's an interesting sort of mesh of both games, and I feel that each game is given proper respect, and sort of fused together like fairly. And yeah, the story's very interesting so far. I've only played it for a couple of hours, and there's a sort of like mysterious bits of like magic and witches. It's sort of very shrouded in mystery, which I like. I like the sort of having to sort of figure out what's going on, and have it all like unfold. So yeah, very good so far. It's developed by both Level 5 and Capcom, so yeah. Next up we have Metro 2033. Now I've been streaming this one for a couple of occasions now, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game. Bearing in mind it's a game I've played before, and I feel that with this time me playing with the Metro Last Light game mechanics, I'm having a lot more fun with it. Definitely the gunplay feels better. The stealth is less stressful than it was when I first played it on the 360. And yeah, I think graphically it looks a hell of a lot better, and I feel that the people at 4A Games have done a fantastic job. So yeah, really enjoying this. I will be doing another stream. It'll probably be the last stream because I'm very close to beating it now. Probably either on Saturday or Sunday this week. So yeah, I'll let you know when that's happening. Next up we have Destiny. Now, in theory, I really do like Destiny in terms of the gameplay and the sort of visual style, and I like the whole sort of community factor of it. But what really annoyed me about this game was the fact that there were certain missions that are sort of locked on the disc that are being passed off as like new content that you have to buy, which I find complete and utter bullshit personally. And also like hearing and sort of watching footage, like previous footage, where the sort of story was a lot different, and from what I can tell, a lot better, where you're actually playing as the sort of bad guy instead of the good guy. And I feel that I personally think that's a lot more interesting than the story that we got with this game. As I said, I do really like the gameplay. I'm not dissing that at all. I feel that it's very solid. It's very much like Halo and Borderlands and the like, and I think it's very fun. It's just the dirty sort of business practices that Bungie and Activision are sort of playing here. And I'm probably not going to play it anymore because a lot of my friends have feel the same way. And but if things change like years down the line, and that content that should have been free in the first place becomes so like later on down the line. And yeah, I might come back to it at some point. You never know. But for now, I think I'm done with Destiny. Next up, we have GTA 4, and the complete edition. It comes with the original game and plus the two DLCs, the Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. And I do feel that GTA 4 was the weakest of like the main GTA games, not including the spin-offs such as like Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories on the PS2 and the PSP. But even so, it still had its moments. I think mainly I'm not a big fan of it because when I originally played it on the 360, I was about halfway through the game and I suffered my first ever red ring of death, and it just left a really sour taste in my mouth whenever I go back to this game. I know that's kind of me being sort of petty, but yeah, I still enjoyed it though. I don't really remember much of the final third of the game because you have like these sort of generic gangsters that you don't really remember that much. I can't even remember like any of their names. I really can't. But it was still fun. I do feel that GTA 5 has sort of surpassed 4 by miles. But also I played both the DLCs as well, as I said. Lost and Damned is very, very good. The whole ability to call up the two sort of gang members who help you out during missions, I think that's really cool. And also to be part of like a biker gang is like pretty cool as well. And Ballad of the Gay Tony, I feel that when I played that DLC for the first time, my sort of faith was restored in the series, where I had my doubts of where it was going after playing GTA 4 for the first time. Because I feel that the Ballad of Gay Tony definitely had the fun factor sort of brought back in with the sort of crazy stuff you could do in that DLC. So yeah, overall a pretty good package. So yeah. Next up, we have DuckTales Remastered. Now, this is the original NES game redesigned, well, somewhat by WayForward, who are a very good 2D platformer developer. And but basically, the main difference, obviously, are the visuals. It just looks absolutely beautiful, like the actual cartoon from the 90s. And another bonus for me, like growing up watching the show, it has all the voices from the original voice actors from the cartoon series, which is really, really cool. And but the gameplay itself is pretty much untouched, really. The only difference is there's like a few new bosses here and there, and the ability to use the sort of progress stick how you want to, be it like in the original or automatic. So yeah, and overall it is a very, very good game. The music especially is fantastic. The way it's been remixed is it's absolutely superb. I've even put some of them, or going to put some of them on my sort of music playlist for like loads of video game music and such. So but yeah, I and also I should explain the reason why this is sealed, because I bought the digital version when it first came out, but later on there was a retail version announced, a physical version. So I decided to sort of pick that up, and yeah, I might play this version one day. You never know, but yeah. And finally, I've got a couple of PS2 games to show you. First of all is Airblade. Now, this is actually developed by Criterion, who made the Burnout series and also Black on the PS2. And I was very disappointed with this, mainly because I feel like Criterion wanted to make this like their own version of the Tony Hawk series. But the main reason that they've sort of failed with that is the controls, because for one thing, it sort of feels very very sort of floaty. You sort of don't feel like you're in control of what you're doing most of the time. And the difference with the Tony Hawk series is that the controls felt very tight, and you always felt like you were in control of what you were doing, and you don't really feel that way with this game. And also the fact that there's like a time limit, and like you have to do specific things in a specific way, and coupled with the rather awkward like controls and the hit detection and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, it just felt like a missed opportunity, and I got to like stage 3, and by that point I just didn't really want to play this anymore. So yeah, I only paid like £1 for this, so it wasn't like a big loss, but it was still kind of disappointing all the same. Next up we have Gungrave. This is like a sort of on rails like third person shooter. It always feels like an arcade game to me, because there's like a lot of different like enemies you come up against, but with each stage it's like the same enemies but with like a different skin almost. So in that way it sort of feels almost like an arcade game. But there's like bosses at the end of like majority of the stages, and they're really different and challenging. And I like the sort of visual style. There's like cutscenes similar to that of like anime or manga, which are pretty cool. And yeah, I think the music has its moments, especially when you complete a stage, and yeah, the sort of stage complete music. If you've ever heard it before, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's really really good. Yeah, I've only played up to like stage 4 of that so far. So but so far I'm pleasantly surprised. So yeah. Next up we have Darkwatch, which I talked about in the previous pickups video. I played it for like an hour, and I'm very impressed so far. It's like a Western mix with sort of like gothic, like horror undertones almost. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's FPS, published by Ubisoft and developed by High Moon Studios, who made most recently the Deadpool game, which I've really enjoyed. The only problem is I did like one session of this, and then I went to do like another session, but my sort of save data and created data were on like 2 different like memory cards, so, and it kind of screwed up my data and ended up corrupting my save. So all that sort of progress that I made has sort of been lost, which is kind of a bummer. So but yeah, I only played it for about an hour or 2, so it's not a complete disaster, but it's still kind of a shame that I have to go all the way back and play it again. But yeah, it was impressive for what I played so far. So, and finally we have Mr. Mosquito, which is a very unique game. You basically play this mosquito who sort of has to survive by sucking blood, and you basically are in this sort of house owned by the Yamada family, who are this sort of Japanese family who you end up like stalking most of the time. And yeah, there's 12 stages. They get progressively harder as you go along. Like there's more sort of blood points you have to suck, and there's like this sort of tension meter where like you inject your sort of stinger into like the skin, and then you use the analog stick to rotate it, and as you, the more you do that, the more like the tension meter goes up, and like if it goes red, and they spot one of the family spots you, like it goes into like a battle mode, and you have to target like certain points of the body to get them to relax, so you can sort of do what you were doing again. And yeah, it's a really unique game. It reminds me of when I first played like We Love Katamari, in that kind of like unique style that's never really been done before. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this game. I absolutely hated stage 11 because that was just an absolute bitch to complete. It's this game is actually very short, but the amount of time it took me to beat stage 11 was almost as much as like completing the game itself. So yeah, Miss Mosquito, probably one of the few games, well, many games I play on the PS2 that I would regard as a hidden gem. So yeah, if you ever see it, check it out. It's quite good. Okay, and that is it for the games I played recently, episode 3. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope to see you again for another one. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.